right, so we've talked about how to manage these environments and get more out of them and leveraging AI and whatnot. So what other trends are you seeing in the market?
Yeah, so I talked a lot about how do I modernize the way I do traditional storage. Uh, when you think about it, most organizations are spending a lot of skills and operational expense and capital on just doing the status quo storage, the things I was talking about. And yeah, we need to make it better, more efficient. So you can take those skills and work on the real future stuff that's going to drive differentiation for your organization, drive more value to your customers, give you a competitive edge. And so everything I talked about so far was what I'd call modernizing. Then there's the transformation stuff. So as your application teams in your organization want to move beyond traditional VM infrastructure because it's still too slow and rigid to build in that environment, they want more of a cloud native architecture like what they get in the cloud. They start thinking about things like containers, and they start thinking about a world beyond VMware. So what does that look like? How do you help them with it? Because the traditional infrastructure, to be totally honest with you, can't support that. It needs to be built in a different way to support container environments. So we've built something called IBM Fusion and IBM Fusion HCI, which is engineered infrastructure designed to deploy containerized and virtual machine infrastructure beyond the world of VMware. Make it really easy to deliver that new experience to these application teams.
Yeah, that's a really good offer, right? Because it seems like when we talk to clients, a lot of times they talk about the how do I look for alternatives to VMware? How do I transition off of VMware? But a lot of times when we hear containers, we hear people talk about containers as part of their journey to the cloud. So now you've got an offering so that clients can go to containers and still stay on prem if that's a need or requirement.